Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to another Grounded update video, where today we're hopping in and we are talking update 1.1. Yes, the first update that's coming out after Grounded 1.0 has launched, and they are going through and fixing all sorts of cool new things and adding a bunch of new crap as well. Guys, I'm so excited for this one, and I hope you guys are as well. So if you guys want to know exactly when this update is dropping in a public test, make sure you guys watch all the way to the end. But let's go through here, guys, and let's talk a little bit more about what we're going to be seeing. I've gone through and I've cut down their over hour and some long live stream that they did into a relatively short video for you guys here that we're going to go through, and we're going to talk about everything that they spoke about inside of this next update that's coming up. So Eric, Adam, and Chris went through and showed us all sorts of cool new things, including that we can now have multicolored lighting. It's no longer just yellow, white, or red. We can now get blues and greens and all of that added to make it so we have colorful lighting and literally can make rainbows all over our bases. But what I do want to point out is these awesome looking pinecone spike strips that are here. This is an upgraded version of the spike strip that we have, the current thistle needle spike strip. This looks as though it's going to take pinecone pieces, maybe some sap, some lint rope, and probably some cement in order to make these. And as a little bit of an added bonus for you guys, spike strips are no longer going to make you take damage. So that is an awesome thing to think about. You're going to be able to run into your spike strips all you want, and you will no longer take damage. This is just the first of the upgraded traps that are coming to the game, and I've heard that there's going to be even more traps beyond just this set of spike strips that we're seeing right here that's getting added to the game. So I know that I am personally super excited about this, about new traps and stuff that's going to help players with the Java-matic. It might help players fight other things like infected wolf spiders, maybe the Black Widow spiders himself, and other things like that. Speaking of hard enemies, did you guys happen to notice that we've already seen some of the new stuffed bugs and bug mounts that are coming to the game? Interesting. When I say bug mounts, I mean mounted heads, by the way. I don't mean we're actually going to be riding bugs. They said that they've been working on that, and they thought about it, but all the implications and how hard it would be to actually get something like that, it adds a whole new mechanic and how they'd actually work it into the story of Grounded and how they'd make it functionally possible and all the different things that go through it. It's something that they've thought about. It's definitely on their minds, but they haven't committed to whether or not they're actually going to bring it to the game yet. Let's continue on though. Let's look at some more things behind just some pinecone strips. One thing I do want to point out, guys, is we're about to look at something that was really needed in the game for a long time, and that is going to be half staircases. Right now, we had ramps that were really cool, but you can see the mushroom half staircase that's over there that we have, that we're finally going to be getting in the game. If they will just stop playing on the spike strips for a minute and just turn over, and will you just look at the nice stairs that you, there they are. Perfect. Mushroom half stairs. We're getting mushroom half stairs getting added to the game as well. And this is really cool because that is the first set in what I think is the proper way that the building needs to go forward for requests that the community has made. If you think about it, a standard foundation, a clay foundation or a pebblet foundation, is about half of what a standard tall wall would be, right? So if you put down a nice foundation on the ground, well, now you have this half section that you had to build stairs that went into the ground, or just a clay ramp, and sometimes that didn't look very good. Where now we're going to be getting a nice set of mushroom stairs. There's not only this set of mushroom stairs, there's also a full set of mushroom stairs as well that we're going to be able to get in and go take a little bit of a peek at as well. And there you go, you saw the stuffed mantis head on the wall. Now, one thing I want to talk about with the stuffed mantis head is we did see something inside of the video or inside of the live stream that said mark prey. I don't know if that's a way for us that we're going to be able to mark where the boss is, or what, maybe it's a way to make it more difficult or something like that. I'm not sure. But let's talk about some decorations that are coming to the game. We have some nice clay pots that are coming to the game. You got 3 different versions of some clay pots that are coming. I do also want to point out that really absolutely gorgeous, now my favorite looking storage in the game. Yes, you can actually store things inside of that chest that's over there. You can't store anything inside of these clay pots. Sadly, you cannot. But inside of these nice little clay pots that we have here, they're just great for a little place to put down some decoration. But that chest of drawers that's there in the back that we can go through and put some things in. And speaking of putting things in, there's some other features that we're able to do, like turning off storages and things like that, or turning off quick slot. What that means is when you're going through and sorting your inventory, you can actually turn that feature off for a certain chest. So say you have like armor or weapons or smoothies on that you don't want to accidentally put away, but you just want to put all your bug parts away that's in your inventory. By the way, speaking of inventory, you get another 10 slots. But anyway, yes, that's going to be happening literally right away. As soon as you get in, you're going to get your inventory upgrade. As soon as you load the game, you're not going to need to go find it. You're not going to need to play the game. You're just going to get it right away. But there are even more decorations that are coming to the game as well, besides these 3 pots that we're currently looking at and that nice chest that's right over there. We're also getting these neat things that are right here. We're actually getting room partitions. So there's 2 of them that are right here. Here's actually all 3 of them in front of us. If we look at them right here, this is the 3 of them. You can see we have the raw science, the really gross looking gum one, and then a nice one that's made out of burr weeds. So speaking of other things that are going to be in the game as well, we have a ton of head mounts that are going to be coming to the game. You got water boatmen, you got a water flea against that back wall. I have seen scarab beetles. I have seen the mantis. I have seen a stuffed moth. I have seen stuffed termites. I've seen stuffed black ants. I've seen black ants mounted. I've seen termite heads mounted. I've seen all sorts of cool creatures. There's literally an infected mite sitting there on that chest right over there. Speaking of other things that are coming to the game as well, check out that freaking chair right there. That looks absolutely gorgeous, guys. That chair right there is beautiful. I love the look of that chair, and I hope you guys do as well. I think that they've done some absolutely fantastic work so far with some of the decorations, and notice that we didn't get a ton of new furniture in the game. We got some pots, right? So we got 3 different pots. We got 3 different room partitions. We got a chair, and we've gotten a chest of drawers, okay? And then all of the tons of stuffed bugs and heads and stuff. You can even see up there in this little corner that's right up here, you can actually see a little stuffed tadpole back up there for you to go through and you know, hang on the wall if that's your kind of thing. But personally, I like the way they look. Living, not dead, but that's just me. But anyway, going on here, guys, there's a lot of new decorations that are coming. There's a lot of cool things you could do, and yes, you can sit in that chair. Let's go on a little bit further here along in the video, and I'm going to show you guys some features that are over here. Here is that color changing feature that I was talking about from before, how they're actually changing the colors of the lights a little bit more, and you can change all of the lights to have your own colored features and things like that. So there are a couple of systematic things that are coming to Grounded that are actually being changed. But before we hop into that, I want to talk about my favorite looking item that's coming to the game here, guys. This grandfather clock that's right here is gorgeous, and it actually tells the right time, by the way. It's actually that time inside of the game that they're on right now. I believe it was 1347 when they look, if my memory serves me right. Ooh, got it right. 1347, and that's the time it is on the grandfather clock as well. Awesome to see some new furniture coming to the game, and awesome to see a nice looking piece like this. This gets me excited for some other things that could come to the game as well, including a hidden thing that they showed like a little bit of, but they're like, here's a little sneak peek, but we don't really want to show you it. But anyway, enough about decorations. Let's talk about some other things here, like this throwing animation that we got here. Check out this throwing animation. Notice how they're flipping the knife over in their hands and then throwing it. That's gorgeous. Also, another thing we're going to be talking about here, flying through these really fast. This is actually your little icon selector for your little flags that you put around the yard. For your beacons you're going around and placing, you can actually not only adjust the image and color like we could before, but now you can actually go through and name them. And this is really, really cool because it allows you to put names for people who are joining your worlds, or, hey, I want to name this base so I know which direction I'm supposed to go in, or what they're, you know, things like that. It helps out with that sort of thing. We're able to go, what's over here? This is over here. So I think that that is pretty cool nonetheless. Now we're starting to get into some really, really cool stuff over here as well, beyond having a cool animation and things like that. We also got our sleep until morning option back again. If you want to switch over to use that instead of sleeping for 8 hours, you have the sleep until morning. That's cool. It's going to wake you up at 6 a.m. I would probably go through and select that instead myself. But here's a big one for you guys. They're going up ziplines. And I do want to point out that it does say change direction there. Yes, straight up a zipline, not down a zipline, up a zipline. And I do want to point out that there is a tiny little aphid running on a wheel up there. They said this is going to have to be something that you unlock in the game, but it is actually not a trinket. They're not currently using a trinket, so I think it's just a thing you unlock by a quest or something like that in the game. But the cool thing is that you can actually switch directions whenever you're on the zipline itself. So as you can see here, you're going to go forward, and then you can actually switch over and go the other way. That is incredible for something to get added to the game. This is going to make it so us who have smaller zipline farms, who may only have one direction to go places, it's now going to make it so you can go both directions instead. Now, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to be able to get this from quite yet, but all I know is that this is a really, really cool thing that got added, and I can't wait to play around with this for myself. The last thing that we're going to be looking at here, guys, is just a little bit further ahead along here, and that is the fact of adjusting depth, field of depth. A lot of people on a lot of systems, on Xbox, on PC, all over the place have been asking me, Sim, how do you turn off your distance blur? Everybody asks me, Sim, how do you turn off your distance blur? I used to turn it off by literally going in to the code of the game and taking that distance blur value and setting it to 0. But you can't do that on Xbox. They're literally putting in now an ability for you to go through and change it over to low. And when you do that, guess what? It's going to make it so you can see things that are further away. Look at the distance blur now in comparison. So this is what the new low is going to be, and this is what the new high looks like when he goes ahead and adjusts it, and this is what everybody is used to seeing. So we are going to be getting a way better distance blur look. But I'm going to go ahead and just pause over here because I believe that this is probably one of the best views of what we're going to be seeing here coming to Grounded. Okay, let me walk you guys through this just a minute here. Grounded is about to get a huge update, all right? And those of you who watched all the way to the end are waiting to find out when it's going to release. Their set release date that they are talking right now is not this week, and it is not next week. It is actually November 29th, okay? That's a Tuesday, not this week, not next week, the following Tuesday. They're looking to release this. November 29th, 2022 is when they're looking to launch this. U.S. time, don't forget, they're in California, so they're probably going to do it at like 4 or 5 p.m. in Pacific time, which means about 6 p.m. for my time-ish, somewhere in there. Don't get yourself upset if you don't see it right away when you wake up in the morning on the 29th of November. Now, this is awesome because this comes right in time for a whole bunch of cool things, including their holiday launch, and it is called the Holiday Treat that they are going to go through and give us, and it has a bunch of building things and stuff like that, and I cannot wait to go through and build up all of these things. Also, guys, while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a little bit of a plug in if you guys will allow me. I have a Thankmas live stream that's coming up on December 10th. I hope you guys will be there. It's going to be a long live stream. I have all sorts of cool things going for me. I got lots of different things to give away and stuff like that during the live stream, so please don't miss it. But enough about plugs and back to Grounded. I'm super excited about this update, guys. They even have even more things that are coming from some hidden items that are coming to the game, more stuff like that. They haven't talked anything about bugs or creatures or anything like that, or new map areas. They did build up here on the porch, so I'm assuming we're not getting anything up here in this update, but nonetheless, it's going to be a really, really fun update, and I hope all of you guys will be there to check it out with me. But thank you everybody so much for watching this update. If you guys can, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.